Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 1 of the Civilized Gentlemen versus the Abjured in the Grand Finals of the first ever World Tournament Series.
Indeed, the Grand Finals is the match everybody's been waiting to see. This is it, guys. The hype is real as we're about to transition here, and I think Game 1 should be getting started here in just a few moments.
Yep, so coming into this, we've seen EU defeat NA twice in a row in international events. So I'm talking about the PAX Invitational that we had in 2013. I'm talking the Gamescom tournament we had this year. Europe is always destroyed.
Yes.
North America historically. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's happening. I know there's been a lot of back and forth between these teams. A lot of shots fired, one could say. There's been some interesting moments here this past week in Beijing. So I mean, looking at these teams, looking at the matchups here, knowing these are some of the best players on EU and NA, which one of these teams is going to take the win today?
So talking a little bit about Abjured here. Abjured easily is probably the strongest chance, definitely the strongest looking team North America has ever sent to a large LAN. I mean, we had Sync a few years ago, but unfortunately they were having their own issues, and then of course you had the Pug getting tossed together for the All Stars event, but even that was not. But Abjured is very different. Abjured is consistently performing as a top team. Abjured is winning the ESL weeklies, like once every other week basically at this point. They're sitting up there constantly. They're an incredibly strong team, and we've even seen scrims coming up in the past few weeks where they managed, where like not even their full team, just kind of like 3 or 4 of them would go up in a Pug versus the Civilized Gentlemen, would beat them pretty consistently in like 2-1 sets. But I mean, it's definitely looking very strong for them. However, you have to remember too, we talked about this earlier on in the stream, that TCG has quite a lot of experience. Once more, they are probably the longest standing roster in competitive Guild Wars 2 at the moment, and because of that, they like we said, months upon probably a year plus at this point, years experience playing together, learning each other's strengths and weaknesses, getting synergy with each other. TCG's communication is easily going to have an advantage in that regard. They're easily going to be the better team when it comes to just communicating in general and having a more plethora of strategies to use against their opponents, whereas the Abjured kind of had to get tossed together somewhat at the last minute, but they're still looking really good. They put quite a bit of effort into practices. I've been watching them, and it's definitely going to be a very close matchup.
All right, sounds good. So Blue, let's go ahead and jump into game here, and we'll start talking about some of the roles of the players here. I mean, we've seen them play already today, right? So we saw them play against Team Prime and Team SALA in the first matches of the day. But let's talk about how these guys are actually going to match up on an individual level. So like one of the first things I'm going to call attention to here, so we've got Magic Toker on the North American team who plays SD Thief. And it just happens to have on the EU side, we've got Sizer.
Yes, this is indeed a legendary matchup. These two guys are arguably the top 2 SD-based thieves in the game here. Been seeing them kind of go up against each other. They kind of have their own styles here. Sizer is once again extremely devoted to Guild Wars 2. We see him play consistently for 12, 14-hour sprints on his live stream. So Sizer is an extremely devoted individual. But even recently, we've actually been seeing, like I said, we talked about those scrims a few moments ago. To be honest, Magic Toker has kind of been looking like he's the stronger contender. His map awareness seems to be a lot better, and his 1v1 ability when he goes up against Sizer just seems to be fantastic. But anyway though, guys, as you can see now, we are getting started, so let's get to it, guys. The grand finals of WTS Season 1, the Abjured on the red side taking on TCG on the blue team. Let's take a look, Grouch.
All right, so coming out of the gates, we're seeing a strong, it looks like both teams pushing hard towards the midpoint here. Both teams sending one player to home point to kind of guard there. Veteran pushing far, going to try to 1v1 Denchi on point here. That's going to go on for a long time. These guys are both like highly skilled elementals, probably the best in the game.
Yes, indeed. Fanta, I do have to give this one to Fanta, though. Fanta has had a huge amount of practice in 1v1s. He's been scrimming and 1v1ing players in dual servers consistently, like for hours on end. And I do have to say that he's looking like the stronger 1v1 Ellie.
All right, so we do see a cap going to the Abjured over there. They got Windmill, and moving into the midpoint here, we do actually see Wakey getting taken down. He's in down, so he's actually going to get rezzed up here. They're going to have him back in the fight. There we go. So it's back even again. Right now we have only Abjured generating points, though.
And indeed, as we take a look once more at what's going on in the fight here, you've got Tage, like we said earlier, the last hope for Bunker Guardian, trying to hold on over here in mid. Mind those treb shots there, too. Ostrich's got caught off by one there. Big hit's going to go onto him. Definitely force a cooldown usage, but Wakey also going to get hit there as well, knocking him back. That's not going to be good for the guys in Abjured. Those big treb hits are going to matter.
Another one! In the face again! Wakey, you got to dodge those trebs, buddy.
Wakey definitely have his missions. Oh, the Wakey goes into the down state there. We are going to see OX now going in for the res. Unfortunately for TCG, there doesn't seem to be anyone that can put consistent enough burst. Ram is trying to go for the corpse sleeve here at the moment, but it does look like he is going to be forced to pop his Vapor Form. Trying to go on to the point now. 5 gauge might be in range to go for that res, but no, they're going to bail off the corpse there. Ostrich is going to leave this point as well, and it looks like Rip is going to move off the node, and at least for now, give it crave control to TCG.
All right, so it's going to be the first points going to TCG finally here. Now they do have a cap going on to Windmill right now. Looks like Sizer is able to pull off the full cap there. On the midpoint, though, we do have who was that down? Oh, so Wiki down. We have Tage and Toker on point now.
Tage still holding on pretty strong here with assistance from Rom. They should have no trouble keeping themselves constant on this point here. But of course, we do actually still have Abjured leading. This is still an extremely close game, 29-16. No one's gone really anywhere yet. Obviously, TCG will be coming back in just a second with this single cap, but we've got action on all 3 nodes here at the moment. Wakey pushing over here in towards the windmill, back over here at the mansion. We actually just saw the end of it as Ostradags managed to take out Helseth here in a bit of a 1v1, and that'll be knocking him out and giving control to, once again, to the guys on the Abjured. Now tying things up at a 1-1 cap, and it looks like things will be culminating over here in middle in just a moment.
Toker's been such a key player in this map so far. I mean, he's getting decaps on 4, getting full caps even. Moved into mid, it was like 1v2ing on point even as an SD Thief, which, you know, he's got a lot of evades, he's got a lot of evasion there. He can move around, try to avoid a lot of damage. But if he messes up one single time, he's going to get locked down and he's going to get absolutely wrecked. So the fact that he stayed on mid for so long, this is a testament to how good he is.
As we take a look here, once again, Tage coming under the pressure there. We talked about this before. Once again, moving over to him, you can see very low on cooldowns. Cooldowns is a pretty good indicator of how long a Guardian is going to survive. Now he needs to get Denchi in play. Thankfully, that good swap comes out, and more Treb Fire coming in from TCG here as well. Fanta taking yet another Trebuchet hit. Denchi is getting a little bit low. They need to try to get themselves out here. Thankfully, these Trebs are really helping those guys out here at the moment, as Fanta's going to get knocked away there. Magic Toker kind of getting forced out of the fight here too. Fanta probably going to go down those Condies, and yep, you're going to see Sizer kind of jumping in out of nowhere there. Sizer's going to take Magic Toker now as he kind of engages onto him here, as they're going to try to get that full kill to Fanta. If they take him out, that's going to be a big boost to TCG in this fight.
NA cannot dodge these Trebs. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on either here, man. However, despite that fact, take a look at the side nodes. They've got uncontested control of both those nodes. They've completely forced TCG into a pinhole here now. They're forced to fight only for the middle point, and it doesn't look like, just to kind of go into the big map here, they've got nowhere to go at the moment. They're really struggling to try and find a second node.
Maybe take a look at Mansion here. We've got Helseth sneaking back around. Ostradags is unaware. Helseth's probably going to get the full cap here. He's got his, he's also got his Greatsword 5 ready to go. He should be able to get a score. Nice knockback onto Ostradags if he times right. There it goes. All right, so he's going to get the full decap there. He's going to maybe get a little bit of cap progress here as well.
Unfortunately, again, his Mesmers are fairly squishy. He's really not going to be too potent in surviving this 1 versus 2. We do see it right out of here at the corner. Helseth obviously going to be retreating, but coming in from afar is going to be Tage. Unfortunately, though, 5 gauge with that very nice Magnet Pull will stop Tage's momentum completely here. Red team trying to cap this faster. Nice cover there from OX too, throwing nades to the portal just in case Helseth come back, but that's not going to be the case. And now look at this, TCG completely out-rotated now, as they are going to be taking on 4 players from the
We got to watch Windmill, though, right now, Blue. Look at that. We got, it looks like Sizer going for that decap there. Wakey was watching midpoint. He's going to get decapped right now. We've got another player coming in from TCG. It's going to be Helseth moving over here towards Windmill to help out Sizer. So they're kind of, they're prepping, they're building defenses, and they want to engage the players in this point.
And this is a really good abuse of an over-rotation that we saw from the Abjured here as well. The Abjured really committed hard to that far point, but had pretty much no one watching their home node, so that's going to be given a free for Sizer. Obviously, again, they're Fanta. Fanta are a very defensive individual and very good at 1v2s, but a Mesmer and a Thief is easily one of the strongest burst combos you can have working together in this game, and basically walking into that without any other assistance is going to be a death on your side, whether you want it to or not. But let's head back here in the middle.
Going on to Fanta in mid right now. He's going to have to duck off the point here, though. When you're in Mo, you're extremely susceptible to getting ganked out, especially by burst. So this is actually a 2-play strategy by TCG. They can either force him off node, which is huge. You don't want that DDLE on node, or you can go for that quick gank. They didn't land the damage on him, but they're able to push him off. A lot of wasted time.
And as we check out what's going on here, once again, Helseth did just get bursted down there. Got absolutely dropped on.
Denji's getting low too, man. He's got all the knockback from 5 gauge going out.
Emo.
Here comes the Demahe.
And as we
Denchi,
see now,
can you make it? No, Denchi's going to go down. He's probably going to misform back on a point here. Trying to prevent that cap a little bit longer. We do have Ram in position here. Maybe go for that res. Is he going to risk it? Oh, Phantom go for the updraft off a point, though.
Didn't manage to get the updraft.
Actually gave him enough time for Ram to get the res off.
Also saw Fear coming out there too, I believe, on the fan reps. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but managed to pull that off anyway. Check it out. Once again, these side notes here. We do have OEGS back over at the windmill. He's going to be taking control of that node. We still also have full control of the mansion being held by the guys in the Abjured. So, I mean, it's looking pretty good for North America right now. The Abjurd's looking good. They've been constantly holding these 2 side node caps, and TCG, again, this is the second time this has happened so far. They've just constantly kept getting pinholed here into this middle point.
The problem with having the Bunker Guardian in this comp right now is that Tage can't win fights on his own. They have to rotate a player in, or else Tage will eventually just die. If that was a offensive character, if that was like a DDLE, something similar, he can stand on node and he can win 1 versus 1s. But Tage right now is just really at the whim of his allies.
Indeed. So as we move away from this one, once again, we are going to see middle. TCG still holding on to that one, but they need more than 1 cap. Obviously, as Guild Wars 2 is a 3 cap game. So as we head over here towards the windmill, we are going to see Denchi getting a free decapture. However, unfortunately, 5 5Gauge and Fanta are both on the way. Fanta's actually going to bail out and let 5Gauge take on this 1v2. That's going to be a lot of pressure on the 5Gauge here. Got to remember, most of these Selly builds are extremely defensive, but they're cooldown-based defensiveness, which means once 5Gauge is out of cooldowns, he's going to get bursted out. And you can just see he doesn't want anything to do with that 1v2. Does change his mind when Denchi leaves, however, and now Fanta's doing a 360. He's coming right back over towards this point and coming to assist, which will bring this back up to a 2v2.
Bit of a misplay, though. Like, 5Gauge ducked off point, went off. They actually have the full cap on it now. And if he had stayed for just a little bit longer, they probably would be able to keep it neutralized. But now that they've lost it, they've got to bail out.
5Gauge is gone. They're going to pop the super speed, just try to get back to middle. They did manage to steal away a middle decap here just a few moments ago. That's really key. TCG's been fighting really hard to make sure they held on to that decap, or held on to that capture point here in middle, and now losing that's going to be a really big deal, and especially if we can see these guys taking it. But let's move over to here. Hellset's just fallen into the downstate, and he's being bled out. Not 100% sure what managed to take him down.
Roads, like, there's a lot that's happening. We've seen Hellset down in Rhodes twice this game so far. I don't know if he's getting ganked out when he's moving. It might be Toker. Toker told us before this, I'm going to hunt Hellset.
And he's been telling me too, he's really been watching a lot of Hellset streams. He's been keeping an eye on him, trying to find out his jump spot. He knows about the candle thing on this map. You can see there the candles. Hellset's infamous for trying to use those candles to out-juke SD Thieves. But again, Toker put in the research, put in the time to learn those strategies, and you can see evidence of that now. Hellset.
Oh, Tage getting caught in the Slick Shoes combo. He's going to get taken down. No one from TCG in range to be able to help him out here. That's another brutal part of this comp. If you get a Bunker Guardian down, really, he's like your linchpin. If they take him out first, you're crippled.
And we are going to start to see now the rest of TCG really falling apart.
Trebuchet once again coming in, taking Ostrich out, chunking him pretty hard here. Denchi's still really low, though, so Ostrich still has the advantage.
That trap shot really did save Denchi's life, though. As you can see, he's getting a nice amount of regen off. At least, while they do look low, sometimes they're going to get a constant amount of regen popping off onto themselves. So when they look low, they're not dead just yet. Trap shot coming. Oh, eggs!
Ostrich, you got to dodge this, buddy.
Toker's going to try to go for this res, though, taking a big risk. Fanta also gets hit by a trap shot there, too. Looking at Ostrich, he's trying to go for that res, but it's just not happening. Oh my goodness! The trap shots. What is Abjured doing? They're just taking these trap shots in the face, time after time after time again, handing TCG the node. This is such a close game, though, guys. Look at it, 300 to 229. TCG is behind, but they're on the path to come back. All they're going to do is defend Windmill and make sure they don't lose the clock tower. They should be in a good position to then take the lead.
Yeah, shout out to the Hellset for that trip play, though. Like, TCG has been on that trip all game, and it has really paid off. And I think that's really one of the main things keeping me in this game right now.
As we take a look once again as to what's happening back over here at the Windmill, 3v2 in favor of TCG at the moment. They did lose the cap, keep that in mind here. And once more, because of the comp that Abjured's playing, they're extremely infamous for having much longer fights. And actually, look, take a look, we've got a Moa play over here. They're trying to get off Fanta, but again, the comms from TCG, I was expecting so much better Moa plays from Hellset, but it's just not been happening. These Moas are not being communicated properly, and all they're doing is they're forcing people away from nodes. And while that's great and all, they can be utilized such better than that.
I believe we have Hellset back on Treb, though, so we're going to see some of these Trebuchets being rained down. So we put that Moa onto Phantom. It didn't really pan out for him. Moves back to mid. Oh, I think that was another Trebuchet right in onto Abjured there.
As we take a look, we're going to get on a little bit more of a stable position here, folks. Heading up towards the top, we can see Fanta and Wakey going off against Tage and soon Denchi here. Two Trep shots coming in. They managed to get out of the way of that one, thankfully. Keep in mind, Trep Fire is coming in from the blue side at the moment, so it's not going to hurt blue players.
Taking that one to the face. Like, this is rough for them. Like, this is a bad fight for them to be in.
And again, we've seen this time and time again. They've had much better luck with Abjured trying to go for side caps. So I'm just not sure why they aren't focusing on that a little bit more. Hellset is going to make an attempt to go for the decap back over here at the mansion. Should be able to get that one. Fanta's going to try to loop in and stop that, but will be unsuccessful in doing so, which means we've now got Fanta versus Hellset in a 1v1. Fanta is going to have the better point pressure here, so in a long game, Fanta will be able to recap the point. But Hellset here, as you can see, is doing a really good job of keeping the pressure onto Fanta and trying his best to keep himself on the node while he does consistent DPS to Fanta Ram.
Fanta Ram, we've seen it time and time again, especially in the ESO Weekly Cups and in EU, that if he is very susceptible to burst. If you can get him down early, like, he's pretty much done. And the House is doing a great job, actually landing that burst onto Phantom, making Phantom kite around, try to line of sight, try to avoid some of the damage here.
As we will see, though, Magic Toker popping in. Hellset is going to be popping off Decoy to try and survive. Rom coming in to save the day, though. That's going to be Magic Toker. Oh, good dodge there by Magic Toker. Got away with a full shatter combo, I believe. Really excellent job there once again. And we will see those guys moving back. Hellset and Rom still going to be here versus Phantom. Magic Toker also still in the area. We're going to switch over to his point of view. And once again, this is where Toker's testament comes in. He said he was going to be looking for Hellset, trying to hunt him down. He's trying to get him down so hard right now. And this is going to be such a crucial fight. Abjured has full control of not only the windmill, but they also look like they do have a decent fight going on here from middle. It may be some time before we see results from that, but at the same time, Sizer's also going to be going on the back and taking control of windmill. The main focus, though, is here at the mansion, and we need to see who will take this point.
Yeah, this is absolutely brutal, Blue. Like we've got a traditional Bunker Guardian comp right now, right? And they're playing for 3 nodes. We saw Helseth finally going down over here, so we've only got Rom left on point. It's still going to be a 1v2. We've got Rom versus Magic Toker and 5-gauge. It's not really working out for him right now. He's taking a lot of damage. He's probably going to take him down off of node here. He's going to try to bail out. He's got a lot of mobility with his sword, too.
Looks like he is having trouble just getting out of the way, though. He knows those burns are really going to hurt him. He is trying to get a little bit of regeneration off. Might have a cooldown coming off here pretty shortly, too. Yeah, is going to have for great justice. But, I mean, he's sticking around. He's not leaving.
Toker's
does have Toker.
Toker's in danger. He's going to get him down. He's in Shadow Refuge. There we go. There goes the emote. Toker actually had to bail out of the refuge there, so I believe he gave himself revealed. He's on the run. Helseth actually is looking for Toker now. The tables have turned.
And I do have to say, to be honest here, Toker, look at him, look at these jukes. Toker is doing a fantastic job of keeping himself, look at this, 800 health, withdrawal, getting himself back up. Still in trouble though, because Helseth's on his tail here, trying to pursue him, but looks like he's going to bail out. And once again, Toker fantastically surviving that engagement and getting himself out without a scratch.
So Helseth pushed Toker all the way back to his spawn, but now Toker's on Treb.
As we take a look at, no, he's gone for the opponent Treb actually.
Oh, I take that back.
Yeah. And we see
the Mo onto Fanta. Helseth actually landed that burst combo finally. Taking Phantom out. Phantom's going to have to misform back on the point here. Should we give Rom an early stomp.
And as we see, look at the score grouch. The Abjured is only 50 points away from claiming game 1 here of the grand finals. At this point, they can turtle their 1 node and win through that. And it looks like that's going to be the option they might try to exercise here. You do have Wakey sitting on the node at the moment. Sizer is going to make one last attempt to score decap, but it may not be happening here, folks. Sizer on his way in. Let's see if he can pull this one off.
He's going to pop the Bassy Venom here and try to go in on Wakey now to be able to get that CCF. Oh, the lightning aura from Wakey actually prevented a lot of damage coming in. Oh, the burst combo coming out from Helseth and Sizer onto Wakey. Wakey holding on for dear life right now. He's going to lightning flash away. Great play there. He's going to get that cleansing wave off. Actually did a pretty good job keeping himself in the fight here. Oh, the updraft. Oh, he's going to get taken out by Helseth.
Helseth, very good job with that burst timing there. Once again, Nuva susceptible after the updraft and immediately went for it. Sizer also in here. They still have to work their way through. Fantu arguably is probably going to be much better survivability here. Wakey's more of a team player. He's not really built for solo play, and unfortunately that is going to hurt him, but Fantu's hurting here too.
Low.
Take a look at the other 2 points.
There's a 2 cap right now for TCG. They need to get this decap right now.
Also, 3 bodies on the floor from Abjured. They're 3 men down. They've only got 2 people in play, and those guys really cannot consistently take points. However, they are looking very good as they are focused on a singular node over here at the mansion point at the moment.
They only need 1. Oh, Tage coming in though, spreading that support to Denchi. If they can keep this node in their possession, it's only a 100-point game right now. Abjured has nothing.
Denchi's trying to leave this node, trying to get himself out of harm's way here, but it looks like it's not going to be happening.
The 3 cap goes in. Abjured is
Look at the timer, too. 45 seconds remaining in this game. This might go to a timer, Grouch. We're going to have to see. Abjured needs to pull this back now. Checking out the windmill. That's where most of the pressure is going. Rom has to survive this 1 versus 2. Wakey and Fan. 2D is not a whole lot of damage, granted, but still, it is still going to be tough.
Provide that support. He might be the target, though.
Oh boy, this is going to be close,
folks. So
folks.
carefully. It's all coming down to how Abjured recovers from that 3-man wipe. Rom getting super low on point right now, though, against Wakey. Wakey's actually doing a pretty good job here.
No cooldowns really left here from Rom. Wakey's probably pretty good. He just re-engaged here. 10 seconds left.
49. I don't know if they can do it, Blue.
I don't think there's enough time left in the game, to be honest. Here, so close.
They need a kill. They need a kill.
We're trying to see. Tage is down.
It's not going to happen. That's it. That's it, boys.
Timer's out, guys. The Abjured winning by a bit of math there at the end. Abjured will claim game 1 of the WTS Grand Finals.
Well, hats off to TCG there for trying to bring it back there at the very end. That was some of the most close, intense matches that we've seen.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot believe that came down to the timer. That was just absolutely phenomenal.
And like we said there too, unfortunately, just due to the fact that TCG was a little bit tankier, due to the fact that Abjured just a little bit tankier, had a little bit more survivability, they just weren't able to get those kills there in the end that mattered.
Yeah, they really kind of got things together there at the end, though, didn't they? Like,
yeah.
There was a little while there where it kind of was like, okay, so Abjurd's got game 1. Like, what's going to happen when we go into Force Sniffle Hell? But TCG was like, no, we in here. As they like to say. Like, they really brought it back, and so, like, really well played to TCG for that round.
They got that really excellent 3-man wipe. That was the key there, as we saw. Again, TCG, that was versus the fact that Abjured focuses on 3-point comps. That's their forte. Yeah. That's what they really like to go for. The fact that TCG, who normally is a two cap team, they don't really like to go for that 3rd point unless they can get a sneaky backdoor off or something with Sizer. But the fact that they were able to hold on to a 3 cap for that long, that was extremely impressive. They really brought it back, and you could really tell that TCG wants to win. Unfortunately, time was not on their side there. And because
it's very close. Very close.
Yeah.
They need a couple more kills. Maybe a couple. there was a couple times at the beginning of the game there where they definitely gave up nodes they didn't need to. I mean, same thing for Abjured though. We saw 5 games give up caps when he didn't really need to, moving off a point, trying to kite. When he had a lot of cooldowns left up, like he still had slick shoes, he still had his healing turret. So I think there's kind of misplays there, but I mean, obviously no one's gonna play a perfect game.
Yeah.
Like we can nitpick, we can point out flaws, but I mean at the end of the day, these are some of the the strongest teams in Guild Wars 2, and I mean they're definitely bringing it today and showing us why exactly they're here.
Keep in mind too that these guys, again, that was really their first game. They weren't really warming up in between their other sets. The last time we saw them play was just a few hours ago when they were playing versus their Chinese opponents. So I think they might have just been getting warmed up there a little bit too. So anyway, guys, here we go once again. This is game 2 of the WTS Grand Finals. It's the Abjured, who currently leads the set 1-0, taking on TCG. Let's open up our map and check out the splits.
All right, so TCG looks like sending 1.
This is the counter. This is the infamous Abjured cross. They usually go very heavy on the cross. I think TCG was extremely smart to place defensively. However, you can even note that Abjured kind of knew that TCG was going to do this. They didn't commit all their forces to far. It's only going to be Fanta. Normally on this map, they go 3 far just because they want to try and lock down. Mid's a very hard point to go for when you don't have a full team fight comp in this map. And I think that was a very smart decision. However, TCG themselves Abjured themselves even kind of doubted themselves. And that kind of worked to their advantage now because they had time to reevaluate it and push at the correct time.
Now look at that. Look at the way things have rotated now. Like we've got a 2v2 over here on Henge now, and there's a bit of a team fight breaking out here at mid. I mean, Helseth is currently trying to take on Wakey with the help of Denchi, and Wakey's getting really freaking low. We've got Magic Toker coming in. Magic Toker actually being the new target though. A lot of damage going on to him. Oh, the burst combo from Helseth taking Magic Toker out. 5 gauges there for the res. Oh, the knockback from Helseth actually preventing the res from onto Magic Toker. A lot of cleave damage on the body right now. I don't think they're able to pull it off.
No. Magic Toker is going to be far too squishy. They won't be getting that off, and Magic Toker is going to be dead meat. Now, first kill of the game is going to go towards TCG, and these guys will be getting themselves on the board here a little bit. On the point itself, you still got Wakey taking off Denchi. A little bit of off-node engagement here, too, as I believe we do see a couple players trying to vie for control. Just trying to switch over our point of view over here towards Helseth now, as Wakey's getting very low. They almost managed to take him into the down state there. Wakey just barely skirting death. He's still 5 seconds away from a water team swap, and Sizer might catch him out there. Sizer, a bit of a misclick, I believe, and trying to go for DPS there, but almost going to take him down. Wakey!
Do something.
Wakey trying to get himself out. Very good job. Gets the cleansing wave off. He's nearby over here. I believe this is a friendly crate if he wants to pick those medkits up. But again, Sizer saw that all the enemies were nearby, and he decides to fall back. They're going to be happy with that mid cap. But look at Sizer. What's he waiting to do here at the moment? He's chilling. Where is he?
Where is he? So sneaky. We can't even find him. Going for that backhand.
Look at that juke. He's got stealth at the moment.
Stealth, all right. Looks like he's going to be able to get that decap. There's no one really around to
but, oh my god, look at Denchi over here in middle. Denchi just got absolutely destroyed. That engagement lasted 5, maybe 10 seconds at max. A really good team play by the guys on Rip. They're going to instantly steal away mid node now. And we've also got, as you can see over here, Sizer's in a bit of a disadvantaged fight as he's going to take on an NG on a point.
Yeah, I mean, Sizer's feeling it though. Like he left that point, he got the decap there, he came back for 5 gauge. Like he's feeling a little confident. Like he poked around for a little while. He kind of occupied his time. He's gonna bail out, move back into mid here. We do see a little bit of Scourge breaking on and keep here one more time. Oh, there was a burst combo that came out there from Helseth on a Phantom. Pretty good amount of damage there. Phantom kind of stuck in a bad spot right now. Pretty good amount of condies getting put onto him right now here from TCG as well.
Not many water tube and cooldowns left here really either as he's forced out. He does have RTL if he really wants to make a last minute escape. No blink or anything though, but I think the RTL should be enough. He's going to get himself out of harm's way here. Let's check out what's going on back over here on the middle point. And Wakey just getting killed. Looking like TCG probably going to take control of this node. Aweg's looking to move away here along with Fanta 2, but...
we got some work being done over here on mine though. Looks like Sizer rather going in on the mine side. Going to get that decap, maybe even a full cap, which is going to give TCG a 3 cap.
TCG again there.
The game.
Like I said, better communication coming up from those guys, better awareness of the overall map. They are the ones who are going to out-rotate you when you're not paying attention there. Magic Toker and Wakey are going to jump on Sizer. Sizer's gone immediately into SR. However, Rom's joined in this fight too, so Sizer's not going to give it the point just as of yet. He's just scrolling there for a couple extra seconds, but he's thinking about
out. Oh, he got
Sizer.
lucky. He got the withdrawal off. He was able to escape some of the damage there. We got Wakey standing on point right now though. He's going to be the main target, I think. He's standing on point with Rom. Rom's going to want to engage him. He's not going to want to deal with Magic Toker.
As we take a look here too, taking a look at Rom. Rom's under a lot of pressure, and Sizer's nowhere to be seen. Had to go out of that fight for a few moments, trying to leave. He's trying to jump onto Magic Toker. Sizer sitting in the middle of the fight though. That's not going to be of any help to him here. And what did we just see? Did we just see Rom popping Rom running with the Juggernaut here still, manages to pop that off to get a little bit of extra control on this point. And there we see Sizer
coming out of that burst combo onto Magic Toker. Magic Toker, he's got his withdrawal. He's going to pop that. He's out of cooldowns. He's only going to have his initiative here. Probably going to pop off some short bow 3s. Oh, we do see Tage is actually down on part of the
Beautiful burst there from Magic Toker.
Toker's getting pretty low here as well, though.
Toker, you got to be he's completely out of initiative as well. He's going to be in a really bad spot if he's not careful. But Sizers took the signal there. They got the full cap. They're going to let them have their home node. While this was going on, though, TCG still held a 2 cap, which is giving them the advantage on these other nodes.
Look at these kills, though, on TCG side. They've got 2 men off the map right now. Tage is actually on a long respawn. They're going to bleed him out. He's got 15 seconds right now. Starting right now that he's out of the fight, not to mention travel time. So this is all time that Abjured can use to get those nodes decapped, to actually get some full caps rolling and get themselves back in the game.
Denji doing a good job holding off this 1v2. He should be able to keep it going, but no, does get hit by the crate. Lots Connie's going to be rolling on a Denji here. Immediately going to force him to pop.
He's already in water, too. He's had a rough time. Oh, there goes the immob onto him. He's actually staying in water for a long time. He's able to sustain himself pretty well there. He's getting caught and immobilized, though. A lot of demise coming out. Denji's actually going to get taken down. We do have, who's going in for that res there?
As we did see mid also too, we missed that one. Mid managed to get sniped away for a second time now by the guys on the Abjured. They're going to be taking down one, and now all the pressure falls on the TCG. They are pinholed. This is one of the worst positions you can get into in a single game here. They're in their home node. Their opponents know where 90% of their players are. In fact, they know where all their players are. And the next move, even if TCG does manage to get this point back, the next move is going to be completely predictable by Abjured here, and they will probably be able to have enough time to prepare for it.
All right, so Abjured definitely trying to track themselves getting back in the game here. Only about 60 points down now, rather. And like you said, TCG is really being funneled into that home point there. Sizer getting taken out in Rhodes by Ostrich Eggs. He's going to be on a 15-second respawn. You know, luckily enough, he'll be at his base pretty much already, ready to go. So he's going to pop back into those fights there once he gets a respawn.
And now I do believe here that we will eventually see Abjured. That they will probably lose out in this fight, but this is really them just abusing their comp to the best of their abilities right now. Abjured knows that they can fight a really long fight, and they're trying to elongate this decap here as long as they possibly can. But take a look over here. We got a repeat of that 1v1 we just saw a few moments ago here. Sizer versus Zoeg. Sizer's on the run though. Sizer's trying to head over to the mine. He's just trying to get out of here. He wants to get that decap. He won't be getting it, but at the very least, he is going to manage to move this fight onto the node where he might still be able to get some nice burst off, as he is going to force Ostrich to stay stable.
That's some great map awareness from Ostrich Eggs, by the way. Like him knowing that Sizer's going to be on respawn, assuming that Sizer's going to try to go for that far decap. Ostrich already there every step of the way with him, and actually now they're both pushing into mid here, which is actually going to be kind of scary, because I could see Sizer looping back around, going back over to that mine node.
Yep, as we take a look here, Sizer trying to go for a little bit of burst. Good job by Wakey, juking out of the way of that once again, though. Canson survived that forever, and here comes OX, huge grenade barrage that Sizer's pretty much ate to the face there, but there you go, Sizer's going to leave. Does OX see this? I don't believe he does.
I don't think so.
And that's probably going to be a decap at the very least.
The score is tied up right now, Blue, so Abjured actually just ticked ahead of them, but they're shortly here just going to be losing that node.
Back over here at the Henge too, as we check out that fight as it's still going on, as TCG is trying desperately to get back control of their home node.
Oh, Tage is hurting, man. Oh, a little bit of a daze going on to Tage right now. He doesn't have the stability, but he's going to be able to get that heal off.
Tage very low indeed here, but it looks like he should be all right. Denchi took control of the node there. We did see the Empower getting interrupted though, so he's going to lose about 2k healing because that got interrupted. 5 gauge also rejoining as more Connies will be tossed onto Tage due to that factor. And beyond that, it's still looking like this fight's going to be going for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you have two teams that are pretty much at the pinnacle of Guild Wars 2 right now, clashing. And, you know, we're seeing some unique strategies, you know, kind of go head-to-head here. We've got the bunker meta that's, you know, been ahead of the game for so long, clashing with the new kids, right? The new kids on the block. We've got these 5-man damage comps, really just kind of bruiser-focused. And it's really interesting seeing how this all works out.
Sizer trying to look like he might have gone for middle there, but unfortunately he's going to change his mind due to him spotting 5 gauge. 5 gauge really not our apologies due to him spotting Wakey, I believe, on the middle point there. He does catch 5 gauge though, engaged with Tage. He's going to try to jump onto him. Denchi also in the area too. The real question in my mind right now is, where has Helseth been? Helseth, you'd feel like he'd want to be more present at some of these other fights, but again, even himself, he's really been just planted at this fight back over here at the Henge.
The crate came onto Helseth there. He had to actually use his base retreat to get out of there. He does have his MOA up right now though, but you know, he's not someone to use it on cooldown though. He's going to use it in very specific situations. He's going to try to use it very to gain a huge advantage, right? Like he's not going to want to use it for like his self gain. He wants to make sure that it's going to matter.
I feel like Helseth likes to keep that MOA for defensive reasons. He likes to keep that like, all right, we're really behind. Let's pop that MOA off. Let's get someone out of this fight temporarily or something such as that.
Ooh,
like
5 gauge is hurting right now. He's actually going to go down to Connie's here. Denchi coming in, going to be able to get that stomp up. It looks like Denchi tried to dodge the pole there, didn't actually quite get it. Oh, the crate coming in from Ostrich Eggs. He's going to try to get that res off. Is Denchi able to get it? Oh, the downstate 3 from 5 gauge, knocking Denchi back off of the res there. So 5 gauge back in the game.
5 gauge now going to go crazy on a grenade spree here. It is trying to catch Helseth. Helseth has got that chill on him, really going to be hurting him here as he tries to escape the wrath of 5 gauge here. But it looks like, unfortunately, 5 gauge really not going to be able to pursue that too much. We do have a little bit of courtyard action going on here at the moment as the rest of TCG, they're really trying to push in towards that point, but having some resistance coming in, mainly from Fanta as well as some of the other guys. They're still, this is what I like about them, they're still trying to push in for that third node. Now this sort of overzealousness does end up costing them control of the middle point, but they are still keeping, at the very least, keeping TCG on their toes, keeping them nervous, keeping them a bit frazzled, and that could hurt TCG in the long run as they need to keep a very concise strategy going.
All right, so Phantom Ram and 5 gauge on point here can do a lot of damage to Tage. Tage having to jump off the point here just to avoid some of this damage. Like, he's not able to stand toe-to-toe with these guys like he used to be able to.
Yeah, as we take a look at Tage here too. Thankfully, Tage has the assistance of Sizer here too, so Sizer going to be able to provide a nice amount of poke, but at the end of the day, unfortunately, those guys are still going to end up bursted down, going to end up getting bursted down very quickly. Taking a look once again here as we switch our point of view over onto Helseth here. Helseth trying to go for a big burst on a Toker. Toker with a very well-timed SR is just
he's
going to
be so low. He's got a sliver of health right now. He's got a little bit of a burn on him. He's actually going to get that withdraw off. He's going to be fine. Really nice SR there.
Toker is fantastic at surviving these really close engagements. Helseth, I don't even think Helseth has managed to get a single shatter combo to take him into the downstay yet. He's been doing a great job at this.
So one of the unfortunate things that happened there is that Helseth didn't have his Greatsword 5 off the cooldown, the AoE knockback. Had he had that available and ready to go, he would have been able to knock Toker out of that SR and probably actually put him down.
Yeah, unfortunate that he did not have that. But as we take a look at the fight here once again, trying to see who has the advantage here in this mid-fight, and to be real, this might decide the game. As we see, only about 4 minutes left here. But it's unfortunately, it is going to be spreading out quite a bit, so we're going to have to cancel that. But take a look here, this is still an incredibly close game, and it's on the backswing now for TCG. They're on the way up again, and they can definitely come back. They've got enough time, but this is going to be yet another close game, Grouch.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, man. We have Helseth hunting down sides. He's got the Greatsword 5 this time, though. Magic Toker putting himself to the wall, though. He was able to evade it, and if he didn't, he would still have the terrain there to back him up.
Magic Toker is going to be leaving this one. Might be looking
to
engage.
Does get it on Helseth. Helseth's going to use his distortion, try to avoid some of that damage there. Try to put the burst combo on Magic Toker. Doesn't quite land the shatter combo, rather.
Does get it by the Berserker there, too, so it is going to cripple him. Helseth's going to be able to get a nice amount of DPS off, forcing Magic Toker into stealth. And here comes Ostratex out of nowhere with a huge Condi combo into Helseth. Helseth, of course, looking like he does get that flick out.
Super susceptible to Condi, so if Ostratex gets one good Condi rotation on him, if he gets that IP proc, Helseth is going to be in a rough spot, especially if Ostratex can land poison. If you can get poison off on a Helseth, like that's a death.
It's a big deal. All right, so let's head back into mid here, folks. We've got OEGS as well as Wakey fighting for this one, and Tage still holding on to this 2-point pressure despite the fact he's going up against 2 of his opponents here. Really good job, still showing his strength here as one of the last remaining main Bunker Guardians currently in the game at the moment. This is not the only fight, however, as we do have another 1v1 happening back up here in mid. It did look like Sizer was going to try to go for a decap back over here at the mine, but once again, good map awareness in general here coming out from the guys on the Abjured, managed to spot that one out and counter Sizer's decap.
A great team play by TCG over here. Like Helseth was just super low, like a sliver of life left. We saw his health rocket back upwards. He got to heal off on his own. We also have the support of his allies. Great positioning by him as well. Using his skills to get back up on the ledge there, kind of get out of the reach of the players there. And we do see TCG overtaking the Abjured one more time.
TCG coming back into the lead here, folks, once again, and with only 2.5 minutes left in the game, unless we see the points getting turned around, it might be a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, there we go. We talked earlier about Helseth using MOA not only to get damage and burst combos off, but kind of just to thwart people from being on node or from being around. So you use that MOA onto Fener and pushing him off node, and they're able to keep the cap on Henge over there.
As we take a look over here, Sizer's going to take another free cap back over here at the mansion point. 3 cap is going to be claimed for the guys on TCG here, and it is looking like that this might be the second game going into their favor. They're not going to get that. It's 2v1. They've got the only hope is to take back control of the mansion, or apologies, of the Henge and swing out from there. But even so, Rom is holding on like a champ over here at the moment. They've got the support of Tage in the area, and there might be reinforcements soon coming in from other members of TCG.
Well, like we talked about this earlier today, Blue, like the longer these games go, the further they get, the closer they are at the end, the more likely it is that players are going to go for bosses here. Now, this is a very risky comps for them to go against because they got Sizer, who's just got tons of damage. Toker's got tons of damage. They get great map awareness. It's a risky move, but it might come down to that.
Indeed, as we head back over towards middle to check things out, Wakey as well as Magic Toker, they do have a 2v1 versus Denchi. Denchi's getting extremely ill. He might get burst down. 3 more seconds till a Water Entombment swap. He's trying to get himself. Third CC comes out there, and Earth Entombment gets that Water Entombment swap. Does have a Cleansing Wave ready to go, but Updraft comes up. Where's the Deeps? There's no Deeps. We are going to see Sizer jumping back into this fight as he tries to stop the Deeps from going on to Denchi here. We do see Magic Toker. Sizer comes in, saves the day for Denchi. Denchi might still fall into the down state, but I think Sizer has enough DPS to take down Magic Toker. Regardless, though, Wakey's going to try to go for that full res here. We also note this too. Oh my goodness,
Wakey!
Wakey!
Can you do it? Oh my goodness, Toker solo. Wakey trying to get that. Oh, what's he gonna do? Oh, the game ends before we can find out.
And there we go, folks. TCG. They're gonna take game 2, and we're gonna be tied 1-1, Grouch.
I don't even believe it, man. I don't even believe it. Those are some pretty intense games.
Yes, very close games.
I feel like TCG felt like they not cheated, but I think they thought they were going to go into that game 1 and take the win. And I think there was like a renewed focus.
No, I definitely agree. I think I want to say TCG at times can be a little overconfident with themselves. They
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't want to call any players that
Some people might disagree with me,
I
but
don't want to call any players out specifically, but
Yeah.
there might be 1 or 2 players on that team who has an ego the size of an elephant.
or Lord.
Yes.
Anyway, but I do feel at times they can be a little bit overconfident with their ability to perform here. And I think that first game, that was a really good wake-up call for them. Like, wow, they can actually take a game against us. They can out-rotate us. They can beat us in fights. Let's take game 2 here. Let's get serious. Let's kick some butt. And I think that was the big change we saw going into game 2 here. A big mentality change for them. A really good focus coming up from those guys. Locked the game down as we saw it. It was closer for a little bit. It did look like they were going to come back. But as we saw towards the end there, once again, TCG ironed things out, got those better fights going on, locked down a 3-cap, and took the game swinging.
So it's we haven't gone over TCG builds yet this time around, right?
No, we have not.
We haven't really gone over anyone's builds. So let's jump back into game here and let's talk about some more of these matchups here that we've got going on today.
All right, so we've already gone over the SD Thieves. Obviously, Magic Toker, Sizer's running the exact same build essentially there, so we don't need to spend too much time going over that. He also got Denchi. Again, Denchi playing another Dagger Sally build.
Now, do you think Denchi matches up more closely with Phantom or with Wakey?
I personally believe he wants to play the role more similar to Fantram, but he is also forced to play Wakey, basically. He's more of a Fantram, basically. He's looking for those 1v1s. We see a lot of action with him on side nodes, but unfortunately due to him being the only Selly Ellie, as again, a lot of teams are running 2, some teams even 3 of these nowadays. So with that in mind, Denchi with him being only the sole Ellie on this team, he is forced to, well, he does want to be on the side nodes, he does want to do 1v1s. When the going gets tough on midpoints or just big fights in general, he is also forced to come into those, especially when Tage gets low and kind of act as the secondary bunker.
Yeah. All right, so, I mean, if you have to draw a comparison here then, so who is Wakey? I guess Wakey's going to be the Tage?
Wakey's probably pretty close to Tage. Yeah, Tage is still a bunker guardian. He has switched over to the Selly amulet, which we noted he did that about a week ago and has been playing with it since then. But all in all, he's still the team support for this team. He's the one who's keeping the players alive. He's the one who's keeping the fight going. He's the one who's doing the stomps and or the reses if necessary. And like I said, that's basically what Wakey's doing as well. Wakey's not necessarily going for stomps as much as we talked about this a few games ago. The Abjured doesn't really go for stomps. They just try to mob their opponents basically and take them out with that method there. And it works pretty well for them. But obviously, Tage being a bunker guardian, they do have a really good amount of, say, stability, which is, to be honest, stability is a very rare thing to see nowadays. We don't see a lot of players running active stability, especially not for their whole team, like Tage is at the moment. So Tage is a lot more team-focused, is focused on keeping the players alive and just general keeping the whole team going. That does at a risk, because he's the main one to do that. When he dies, the rest of the team can kind of fall off. But if he can do that, and if he can keep himself alive, and we've seen him do it in absolutely impossible odds before, then he's going to be quite a force to be reckoned with, especially for the rest of the team.
Now, Blue, before we get jumped to the map here, what is the thing people should be on the lookout for?
I don't know, man. This is the wild card map, to be completely honest. I would say for this one, it's going to be Abjured on this one, but based on what we've seen from TCG here today, too, it could really go either way, Graf. This is definitely a map to be surprised for. Just watch the match. All
right, so the splits are coming out, boys. We got, looks like a cross coming out. We got 2 players defending over on Waterfall side, actually.
Watch this burst here in just a second. Wakey, does he know this is coming? Wakey's trying his best to survive, does get the blink off. Helseth is yet to even engage on this one, though, but Helseth there with that hesitation. I think he wanted to wait for, Magic Toker to get into this fight, but, I mean, how do you have jumped in there? That could have been a free kill onto Wakey. Not sure what was going on with Helseth, but for some reason he hesitated.
I'm assuming counting dodge rolls, maybe, or looking for cooldowns. I mean, we did see Wakey pop off the both the Lightning Flash and the Armor Birth. We did see the Moa going out now.
Oh, it is going to connect on the Wakey. Wakey did a very nice job getting off that dodge, though, and it looks like he is actually going to survive. So really props to Wakey there. Really good job of keeping himself alive despite all that pressure, and really good job with, again, doing that roll that the support should do. And Magic Toker is going to have to deal with quite a bit of pressure. Thankfully, they did manage to stop Denchi there with that lightning aura that Wakey had going for him there. Denchi kind of accidentally managed to run into that one, and that stopped a lot of the pressure from going on to Magic Toker. But we still got a long way to go. This is actually the first time we've seen Legacy play it here on the stream today. As we take a look at things, we haven't really gone over it yet, but once again here, Legacy tends to be a very snowbally map in the fact that when one team gets the lead, it's extremely hard for the other team to get themselves back into the mix. There's, of course, that secondary mechanic, the Lord, which teams can use to kind of equalize things a little bit, but unfortunately, due to the high amount of effort that's required to take that Lord down, it is still a very rare thing to see.
Now, the one thing I've noticed so far is that TCG is not having as good of openings as Abjured is. Almost every single game, Abjured is outplaying them at the very beginning of the game, and TCG is always trying to play catch-up. We saw that 3-man push into mid there, trying to get that early gank onto Wakey. They weren't able to pull it off as fast as they wanted to. In fact, it's still neutral in mid, right? We've still got players battling back and forth over this. Wakey's still alive here. And they're never contesting far node. They're never going to Abjured's home, and Abjured's sitting on that one node right now. They're just generating points.
I think the thing to keep in mind here is the fact that Abjured can make a lot more mistakes than TCG can. Like the smaller mistakes, missed cooldowns, things such as that. They can afford to make those mistakes because they're just built tankier in general. That's one of the bonuses they get by going that tanky and sacrificing their damage. TCG, they can't really afford to do that, and I honestly want to say that just with a lot of the pressure that's coming into this tournament here, we are seeing a lot more of those mistakes being made by TCG, and that's putting them behind at the front, like questionable cooldown uses, Helseth delaying, deciding if he wants to use his burst or not, deciding to not go for things such as that when he really could and try to take those guys out. Things such as that really hurts the potential for TCG as they rely on a very quick and very potent snowball to come in, and if they don't get that going, then their opponent's just going to roll right over them because they're much tankier and they can survive in the long game.
So that node we've been talking about where they generated those 54 points did finally get neutralized, and they're actually now sending one player back to get that recap, though, but they do have it back now. Probably lost themselves, I'm thinking like 10 points or so. It wasn't a big deal. Abjured was pretty quick to react to get the cap back.
Yeah, we won't really see huge leads coming in, I don't think, until we really see kind of a result. I wouldn't say even a cap at middle, but more of a team has consistently taken middle. This has been going on for close to 3, maybe even 4 minutes now as we take a look at things, and really not even close to seeing anyone taking control of the middle path here yet. It's really been focused on the side nodes, and unfortunately for TCG, Abjured, just by their comp, can play a much better side node game.
Yeah, 5 gauge actually getting taken down over here on Waterfall's side. Wakey getting pretty low here as well. The daisies are coming out. He's going to be able to get into his water tomb and getting a little bit of healing out. Oh, the big combo coming out from Helseth, and Rom's going to go for a good stomp there here in just one moment, and I believe we had Helseth move back towards mid.
As we head back over towards that middle point now to see what is happening, it is looking like the prospects are shifting towards TCG. Abjured is really nowhere to be found. There are 2 players down at the moment. Fanta is retreating back over towards the home node as we are going to see Sizer going for a decap over there. 5 gauge is on his way towards the waterfall here for a decap attempt, but Rom has managed to scout that. Oh, no, Rom didn't see it!
Is it going to happen? Rom's got that leap. There goes the leap. Not going to happen.
Good job there with the block.
Oh, missed the overcharge shot there as well. It's going to be a little bit punishing there for 5 gauge. Rom didn't really take that advantage, but he's going to pop an early slick shoes onto Rom. Going to crate him as well. All cooldowns from 5 gauge already being popped out. Now Helseth is here as well. He's going to be fighting a 1v2 versus Rom and Helseth. Ostrich coming in to support as well.
Now 5 gauge is incredibly invested in this fight, to be honest. Unless we saw OEX go in, he might have had to retreat away from that because he just, well, I mean, you have to keep in mind, he's used 2 of his really big cooldowns there. He's put a lot of investment in that fight. Thankfully, OEX came because had he have not came, that would have just been a complete waste of time and cooldowns for 5 gauge.
Here comes the burst onto 5 gauge. 5 gauge has got his heal though. He's getting sitting in that gear shield for a little while, getting try to get him a little bit of distance he tries to go for. Doesn't want to get that daze down.
And over here, 5 gauge still under quite a bit of pressure, mainly from Sizer at the moment, but Helseth they can also see over here in the corner, trying to arc him out with max range, greatsword auto attacks over here. He will get bursted down from a shattered combo. SR coming in here, good res, good knockback there from Helseth. Is going to stop the resurrections temporarily. Fanta's coming in though, going to get a quick res off on a 5 gauge, and he's back up and in the fight.
Great play by Magic Toker getting that SR down just in time. A lot of damage going on to Wakey right now, though. They're going ham on him. He's getting a little bit of healing off, though. Looks like he might be. Oh, actually, he got taken down. He popped his Mistform 2 already, so he's actually. Oh, that's bad.
That's a free stop unless they get that res off. Toker, where is TCG? I think he managed to stealth himself, to be honest. I just think we're not seeing that at the moment. That or, for some reason, some odd hesitation on the side of TCG. They didn't try to go for that corpse sleeve just at all there. They're way too focused on this rotation, and they're now going to allow Wakey to pretty much get up freely, and that will cause them quite a bit of trouble here at mid.
All right, so we do have a 2-cap coming out for TCG now. They've got Quarry side, they've got Waterfall, and they're currently fighting over mid. They've got Rom on that midpoint right now. He's taking a lot of damage. He's in a bad spot. We do have Tage elsewhere on the map, also hurting. This could be a really bad point for TCG if they don't recover from this.
Denchi is coming in though. Denchi just got a nice minute. He's off on a Sizer. Sizer should be relatively safe. Hellset still over here at the Waterfall fight, going off against Ostradex for control of that node here too. But Magic Toker jumping in. Hellset's jumping himself a little bit here. He's been having a lot of issues with Magic Toker in these past 2 games, and he's got to be really careful. I honestly think that's one of the reasons we're seeing some hesitation from Hellset. He's a little bit fearful of Toker.
Oh,
it doesn't want to risk
all
his
over
cooldowns.
right now, man. You can just see he's just training him down. Hellset's got 1 cooldown left defensively. He's going to pop up. He does have a couple staff utilities here as well, but like, there goes the blink. If Toker gets on him right now, like Hellset is completely vulnerable. There comes the damage from Toker right now. Hellset's got nothing. He's not even a dodge. He's going to get taken down. Hellset's in down state. He's going to have some little bit of poison here. There's no way Hellset's getting back up in the fight.
And Hellset's back down for sure. No one going to try to corpse cleave him out, but thankfully the rest of the members of TCG are far too occupied to try and go for a resurrection onto his body there. So Health's just going to get a little bit of extended duration respawn, probably about 20 seconds in total by the time he's back up and in the game there. And now back in mid, you've got Tage and Sizer. Sizer in a little bit of trouble here too, but Mad Toker on the follow on Sizer. 3 seconds till Sizer gets his heal off there. Did manage to get the steal off and got himself into stealth there, thankfully. Oh, but he's still in trouble. Rolling back, didn't have to take that poison heal there. Thankfully, it's a very short cooldown, so it won't matter too much in the long game. But it looks like he has managed to juke out of the way of Magic Toker, and we'll be re-engaging back over at the Waterfall in just a moment.
Blue, we are 7 minutes into this game.
And it's dead time.
It's super close, and look at how high the score is. It's like, this is what you would see in a game in about 3 or 4 minutes, generally.
I'm gonna be honest, probably gonna see Lords this game.
It might be a factor. It's gonna come down to kills, it's gonna come down to Lords.
All right, guys, so once again, complete decaps all across the map here at the moment. We will see Abjured taking a free cap as Sizer gotten bursted down over there at the Waterfall. Quarry as well is still up for grabs as we got Rom and Fanta going for this one. Fanta, again, the 1v1 king of North America, is looking like he might have this one in the bag at the moment. And then mid, the point that no one has yet to be capped, or that no one has capped as of yet. Still going, full swing.
This is all Wakey, man. Wakey's a beast, just standing on point all game, and he's getting finally low here. He's got his water sweeping up, though. He's going to be able to get himself back up to a decent position, not too low. Not going to be quite the target there. We do see a crate coming down to mid, though, going to catch Denchi out. Wakey probably going to try to go for some of those packs there and try to get a little healing off.
Wiki as well, trying to get away and get him out of harm's way. Does have a water tomb and swap. He's going to be in a good position here for the rest of this fight. And again, it is looking like Hellsith might be looking to take him out, but they just cannot find that target to kill in this middle point here. Every time TCG has tried to make a push for this point, they just have really failed to deliver on focused DPS, which is one of their strongest suits. If that continues on for much longer, to be honest, and we've talked about this before about how Abjured is better in the long game. Abjured, that factor just might kick in, and they might just take the point because TCG just can't hold on any longer.
All right, so Abjured does have a cap on Waterfall right now. 5 gauge actually went over there, was able to nab that, so they are generating points once again. And we are still fighting over this midpoint. We've got a little skirmish going on Quarry's side as well. Looks like Magic Toker's over there trying to do some work. Hellseth is down across the map somewhere.
Take a look.
Down in Rhodes. This is the 3rd time today.
Toker, man.
Toker is just hunting him down. He's like a shark.
Toker has been doing that's probably the best example of player investigation I've ever seen as of yet. I talked to Toker. I was actually on a flight over here to China with Toker, and we talked a little bit. He was saying that he's been watching him for hours on end, just trying to find his spots, trying to find where he hunts.
He's like a lion.
Yeah.
I feel like David Attenborough needs to be here commentating this.
And that's the thing is, Hellsith is such a huge part of the TCG composition. Not only is he one of their main DPSers, but he's the shot caller too. He's the one who is formulating these strategies. If he can't perform at all, that's going to add stress on the Hellsith's end. He's very frustrated. He can't do his deeps that he wants to do, and his shots are going to be his shot calling is going to be somewhat questionable here too, just because he's not going to make his good decisions while he's frustrated.
He's also incredibly reliant on his teammates for support, and if he gets caught out in the middle of roads, he's going to feel bad for one. But like you said, he just can't call shots. Like his team is headless. The old adage, like, if you want to go after something, if you want to go after a snake, you cut off a head, right? Like, that's the best way to approach it. And if they keep focusing Hellsith down like this, it's definitely working out for them.
Indeed. As we head back over here towards the middle point to watch things here, once again, you got Sizer and Denchi still defending from TCG. Toker, nice burst going on his sides there. Poison might take him down. Denkman's got his heal level. The juke it out of the way. However, he's not safe just as of yet. Tage is going to come out. A good cleanse there coming out from Tage.
Sizer's staying alive like a beast here.
Manages to get himself up onto that ledge there. Unfortunately, Toker could also do those tricks, and he'll just jump up on top, load him up with condies there. It'll be dying in just a second.
On the mid node here, Hellsith getting caught down, immobilized. He's going to get taken down by Magic Toker. Magic Toker doing work.
Double res coming out there from both Tage as well as Denchi. The Tage temporarily going off that, but that's not going to matter. They get House back up. Wakey kind of going to waste Tornado there. He usually does to try and get people off the resurrection there. So that is going to be a little bit wasted. Magitoker, though, big shatter combo from Helseth onto Magitoker, though. Not enough to take him into the down stage just as if yet. Pull also going off Helseth. Helseth jumping all around the map here at the moment, trying to get himself free of that CC. Well, it will work for now. He does need to get some deeps off here, or that's just going to happen again and again and again.
All right, Blue, we're down to the 4-minute and 30-second mark right now. There's only about a 50-point disparity between these two teams right now. Pardon me, about 70 or so. It's still nail-bitingly close.
It is, and like we said, with 4 minutes remaining in this game, neither team even over the 350 Lord push mark, just as of yet. The Lords may become a necessity, mainly for TCG here at the moment, and that's one of the key things to keep in mind here too, is the team that's going to be behind, or will look like they are behind as we get closer to that 0 timer mark, they're the ones who are going to have to rush Lord, and that becomes, as we get closer and closer to that timer, that becomes more and more of a predictable strategy. They know that the only way for them to get back into the game is to go for the Lord, and that team is going to be ready for that push, which means it's going to be even harder for them to go in there and successfully pull it off.
And of course, having that Mesmer is going to be a huge advantage for TCG, especially if they do decide to push for that Lord there. Even defensively, they can use that portal, making sure that they're available to teleport back if they need to. But right now, TCG is going to be the one that's going to want to go for that portal. Abjurd's feeling pretty good with the timer right now, with the amount of points that they're ahead right now. I feel like they're going to play this very defensively.
Sizer getting very low there. Mo to try and save Sizer's life. He is trying to manual heal. Helseth going for an invalid res at the moment. Denchi also coming on the clip. Look at the teamwork. Sizer gets back up into play. Fanta can't do anything in regards to CC there. He's been forced out of the fight. And TCG, they're going to take control of the quarry.
Oh, Sizer getting back down into downstate one more time. Phantom going to try to be able to cleave onto the body here. He's in a bad spot, though. It looks like TCG's going to let him rot. There's not really any way they can do anything about it. Phantom going to try to go back for that one-on-one with Rom one more time, though.
To check out what's happening back in mid too, as we didn't actually catch on to this, but TCG, they were the team that finally capped middle after 10+ minutes of contention. We did see TCG get full control of the node. Wakey over here as well versus Denchi. That's going to last forever. Let's head over here once again to check out what's happening at the quarry, as that is going to be one of our last big fights here, folks. 2.5 minutes left in the game.
Rom
is down.
Getting that knockback. Is he going to be able to get Rom up? Rom looks
There's
really
too much
low.
pressure.
There's too
much pressure. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Fanta going for churning earth here. That's going to be way too much deeps. Yeah, Rom is going to go down here. They're going to lose a lot of support because of that. Tage is still here, though, and Tage is the last salvation. Denchi is not here yet.
Power got interrupted. Tage is hurting a little bit from that.
Magitoker's low, though. They could get some advantage here back if they manage to take him down. But Magitoker, like we said, he's been infamous for his ability to survive, and it looks like it might be yet another survival coming out here from Magitoker as he continues to impress myself and probably everyone watching here in regards to his ability to survive fight through fight.
Oh, Tage getting super low. He's got his shelter off of cooldown. Now he's going to get that up. He does have hold the line still. He also has renewed focus, but beware, if he pops that, there's a good chance that node could get ever closer to getting decapped.
There is a lot of other point presence from the guys.
Oh, Tage getting caught out!
My goodness!
In the first combo, Wiki going in for that mad damage. A lot of creep coming on the body right now from 5 gauge. There's no way. They can't go for this.
No.
Helseth getting taken out of point 2. We had Denchi coming in and trying to keep that point in their possession. It's looking rough for TCG
that's
right now.
That's the mob of Abjured right there. Abjured, unfortunately, when someone goes to the downstate, they just come in and trample you. There's not much getting them back up. Let's take a look back over here at the waterfall, though. Sizer is going up against OEGS. Another 1v1 team, these two. Sizer's no choice but to take this. Grouch, look at the timer. If they want to go, I think TCG is going to try to play as a point game here at the moment. They don't really have enough time. They've only got a minute left.
That's what happened in the first game on Kylo. They played that point game, and they really just... Oh, it could
it's
be
a
close,
lot closer this time, though. I mean, they had a 3 cap. There was good odds for them to get it. Unfortunately, they just did the math wrong.
Abjurd's got that cap, though.
Ooh, they're going to need it.
I don't know if they have a time for a Lord Rush.
I think they're trying to go for this point game, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's going to be close.
Helseth is pushing past, might be going to Quarry. Maybe going to go for that decap and then push right for Lord. I don't think they have time. I'm not sure if they do. Does Helseth have portal up?
He's going to get this decap, I know that for sure.
Does Helseth have portal?
Oh, we have to check. He's got an exit.
He does. He's got an exit. Ready to go. 38 seconds. 38 seconds, only about 30 points between these two teams right now.
But unfortunately, TCG lost their mid node here now, too. They don't have any points. Waterfall. Ostridig's won that 1v1 versus Sizer. This is not going to happen. TCG.
No,
they're going to be behind.
It's too late. There's no way they can get in the base in time. Helseth is, he's still on node over there, it looks like. I don't know why they're doing this. They need to watch the timer. I don't think they know.
This was a bad decision. I think they knew, but I think they just made the wrong choice. Going to be completely honest with you here. They gave him a 2 cap. It's Abjured, guys. 10 seconds left in the game. That's going to be it. There's no way that we can see TCG come back here. It's going to be 2-1 North America. The Abjured will lead this set. And that is going to put the Abjured only one more game away from winning the WTS Season 1 Grand Finals and taking home $25,000.
2 games to timer. 2 games to timer.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, just watching these guys match up here is just phenomenal. Like we said before, they're so evenly matched in terms of skill. I just I don't even know where I could pick out like where they're doing things wrong or where they can improve. I mean, honestly, these guys are so far ahead of us. Like, we are but peasants.
I think really at the end there, that kind of came down to the last game. Or the last choices that we saw TCG make. I think basically I already explained this, but pretty much, at least from my interpretation, what we saw there at the end, TCG, they decided, let's try and play a point game. We still got 1 cap. We can probably hold these 2 side notes Z cap. We do have about a minute left. We should be able to make the comeback in that. But unfortunately, those fights didn't go the way they wanted them to, and they ended up getting 2 cap themselves.
Yeah. So, we haven't seen this map yet today.
No, we have not. It's going to be on Temple of the Silent Storm, which is, to be honest, probably the swing map. That's the map.
It is the map, aside from Legacy of Foefire. And I would say it's even more prone to swings than Legacy of Foefire. This map has some of the most insane comebacks we've ever seen in Guild Wars 2. Let's talk about some of the mechanics we see on this map.
Indeed. So once again, as we take a look here at the big map, we do have the buffs that are going to be spawning all throughout the map. The main buffs to pay attention to are the ones that are going to be spawning towards the top mid one, which will be spawning right over here. There are also 2 holes that lead down to the bottom buff. We'll discuss that in just a second. You manage to channel that top mid buff, and it's going to double the value of your currently controlled capture points. So if you control 1 point, it's going to give you a double cap. Control 2 points, it'll give you a quad cap. And if you control 3 points, it will give you a 6 cap. And that 6 cap is absolutely brutal and has more than decimated many a team.
Yes, yes. You see yourself getting that 6 cap situation, and you just start feeling the doom and gloom. It just washes over your body.
And as we check out the bottom buff as well, which is going to be Tranquility, I believe. If you manage to channel this one, which will spawn, by the way, at the 8:30 and 2:30 timer marks, while the top buff will spawn at the 11:30, 8:30, 5:30, and 2:30 marks. If you manage to channel the bottom buff, it's going to swing all 3 points into your favor. Not only that, but it will knock any opponents still standing on the node that don't have stability, will knock them off the node and give them 3 seconds of chill.
So I think the interesting thing you just pointed out is the fact that some of these buffs spawn at the same time.
Yes.
So not only do you have 3 capture points in the map you have to contend with, but you've also got additional buffs that you have to look out for. And these are all equally important.
Essentially, I think it gives you enough time to stabilize after the initial fights, because by the 11:30 night, by the 11:30 point, most of the initial fights are going to be over. So at that point, that's when teams are like, okay, we either need to secure our lead or get a comeback. So that's when they'll head for that buff. And then at 8:30, that's when things really get crazy. So let's take a look now as the game has begun.
All right, coming out of the gate here, we do see crosses coming out from red team onto blue right now. We've got a little skirmish breaking out in mid, but we do have the free cap. Looks like the free cap going to be going to Magic Toker over on Temple side.
Yeah.
And once again, Abjured getting that early game lead.
And this is just because TCG, they really can't play a 3-cap game. They can't afford to spread themselves that thinly while they have players that are that squishy. They need to keep a full force fighting at mid.
Oh, Wakey's getting dangerously low right now, though. He actually got forced off point in mid. I believe Tage is on that. We do have an engineer coming in and going to be able to support him out there. But Wakey's so good. Like, Wakey, he's like one of the best team fighters in Guild Wars 2. But not only that, but he knows when to call something and just say, like, all right, it's time for me to go. Like, and this is why he was able to stay alive for so long against so many different players. Oh, the SR coming out to Wiki right now. They're going to go for that res. Looks like they should be able to get it off, so Wiki's going to be actually back in the fight here.
And this is, again, just really strange, the fact that we're just not seeing, like, any corpse cleave attempts at all from TCG. Not seeing any, like, Sizer cluster bomb attempts or anything like that. It's just really weird to see, because they're usually really on point with that. But I'm not sure if the comms are lacking or something's going on, but they're just not on top tonight.
All right, so we've got Ostrich capping Temple, looks like, or one of the engineers, rather. And over on the altar side, we've got a 1v1 here. It's going to be Phantom versus Rom. Phantom, as we've said many times before, is one of the strongest duelists in Guild Wars 2. Probably the strongest dueling elementalist on NA. He's actually having a hard time against Rom right now.
Yeah, indeed, and unfortunately,
Rom... He gives up the full cap, so he's going to have to bail. He knows he can't decap Rom.
It's very rare to see there, too. I mean, obviously, Rom being mainly condition-based here. Fanta should be able to deal with that, because it's not a whole plethora of conditions, only 1 or 2 being thrown out there. But Fanta, it seems like,
lightning flash!
Oh, the jukes!
I don't know if he's got time, though. Rom is, oh, it's going to be close. Can he do? He's pulling the swiftest out. Evo! Oh, my goodness! Very well done. Rom getting outplayed by Fanaram. That was amazing.
Fanta is going to take a decap there. That'll completely rejuvenate the fight. Meanwhile, back over here on the middle point, it is looking like TCG managed to take that full cap just a few moments ago, but they still need to focus on the full game here, as once again, that cap that's happening back over here at the Temple that is still up for grabs. And to be honest, I think the reinforcements are probably going to be coming here pretty shortly. Back on mid, though, it'll be left to Wakey and Denchi. That's pretty much just going to be a stalemate until reinforcements arrive. So we'll check back out on that. We'll check back on that in just a moment as the real fight's happening back over here at the altar.
All right, so we have a 2v2 breaking out right now. It's going to be Fanaram and Toker versus Sizer, and who was the other? Oh, Rom.
Rom, of course, got juked
Tage,
out.
Tage rotating in here as well. It's going to give a massive amount of support here to TCG. Look at the score right now.
It's so close, so close. Every game has started out like this so far. I've never have I seen a set that's been this close, this consistently. We've had such huge stalemates. Keep in mind too that
Phantom getting caught out though. Look at the conditions. He's actually going to get taken down by the bleed stacks there. Tage's going to go for that stomp. Phantom's going to have that down state too though. He's going to move away from the point. Nope. No, he's going to loop back, come back onto the point here. So they can actually go for a quick, easy stomp here, and Tage should be able to get that free cap there.
Yep, it looks like the Abjured's getting pushed off the node. There is going to be additional pressure on its way towards middle. Keep in mind, 20 seconds. We are away until the first major buff coming into play at the 11:30 mark here. We are going to see that top buff stillness coming into play, and getting that will probably guarantee a lead for one of these teams.
All right, so we have a 2 cap going out for TCG now. This is getting close.
This is getting very close indeed. Let's check out what's happening mid once more. Rom and Denchi still trying to hold on. Wakey with a tornado here. Not sure if there's any stab out in play. No, there is not. Rom is 6 seconds away from a rampage, but that's not going to matter here. We do have, it looks like it's going to be, as we check out the node here, Tage coming in, pops the stab, completely negates that tornado there. It is going to be a wasted cooldown, but we do have that 11:30 buff up, so let's see what's happening there. Magic Toker just face tagging Hell's burst there, going way too hard on that. Is going to attempt to go for a decap, will force a choice to be made. Unfortunately, though, look at this too. Sizer, they did not count on Sizer. Someone didn't communicate that. Ostrichex did not call that out, that he was going to be leaving the fight over here at Temple, and now we are going to see Sizer getting that node for free, and TCG's got a 4 cap now, which is going to give them a huge lead. Does get brought down to a 2 cap, but they still have the advantage.
All right, over here on Ultra side, we do see 5 guys currently a skirmish with these guys. He's going to get caught out and then immobilized. A lot of damage going on him right now. He's going to have to try to bail out of here. Looks like he's going to be able to get out, though.
Well, not only that, but Sizer's going to decap the only remaining point for the guys on the Abjured over here, immediately forcing them to scramble. This is where TCG pulls ahead, in my opinion. TCG, once again here, they've managed to cause the Abjured to question themselves, and when they do that, that's when it gets shoddy, because once more, they don't really know where to send their players. They aren't able to make calculated decisions to try and send counters to specific places, and that's where the issues are going to come into play for the Abjured.
Now, you mentioned before, like, right now it's coming down to communication, right? Like, this map is so much verticality on this map. You really need players calling heads, you need players calling eyes. You can't see the nodes. Like, you can't see the nodes. If you're at midpoint, you have no idea what's going on.
There's so much, as you said, there's so much verticality. There's so many walls blocking things. It's so hard to call incomings, and it's so hard to predict the movements of players here. That just makes it such a dynamic map to play. Easily one of the hardest maps to play as a team on, which in my opinion is probably what makes it the most interesting.
All right, so Fanaram and Ostrichex both getting taken out over here on the altar side. Fanaram going to come back onto point with a misform there. We have Magic Toker, oh no, pardon me, it's going to be Wakey going to try to bail out here. He knows his problem. Oh, I think he ride the lightning back into the fight on accident. Is he going to be able to bail out here? He's really low. Water coming up. There we go. We got the dodge roll here coming out. Cleansing wave. He's got a guys all over with Hellseth. He's got the light flash burning that. He's going to get taken out though.
Wakey, once again, good burst coming in there from the guys on TCG from both Hellseth and
Sizer.
Sizer.
Actually getting the knockback onto Magic Toker inside that SR. He's going to burn the SR with no benefit, and they're going to have to let Wakey burn.
1 minute left, by the way, until our first bottom channel spawn. That's going to be a big deal here, as now the Abjured needs that one to come back into this game, and they want to end the set now. They're really going to need that buff to get themselves back in the game.
All right, so going to be bleeding Wakey out here, so we got 15 seconds before we get Wakey back on the map. These games have been coming down, like, the games are going so long, right? Like, these games are so evenly matched, and when we say there's a 100-point difference, like, really, that sounds like a lot. It's really not. Especially on this map.
This map, like we said earlier, this is the swing map. This is the map where things can change in an instant. We've seen it before.
Punish getting that nice combo on the Sizer, just completely shreked. There was nothing you could do.
Tage! Is Tage going to try to save him?
Tage.
There's no way.
I can't believe it.
Oh my goodness. Updraft comes out. That's going to move him away. Sizer is going to port a little bit closer to Tage, but unfortunately that updraft
distraction, though. Distraction. The bottom buff. The bottom buff.
Oh.
2 seconds. Wakey, Rom coming
There's
in.
Rom.
It's okay. It's not going to happen. So Rom's going to get the interrupt there. So it's going to be Wakey versus Rom at bottom. Now they've got 2 less players on the map. It's still 3 points though. So you've got a 4v4 on top, a 2v2 on bottom. A 1v1 at the top buff. You've also got 3 other players trying to contest all the other nodes.
Hellseth as well as now Sizer are looking like, oh, they might try to gank out OEGs here. They're grouping up. Let's try to see where they actually know they're heading back to their home node here. They're going to try to gank out 5 gauge. Interesting choice here. They also are under pressure at mid. This is TCG taking a bit of a risky route here. Denchi, I think Denchi's been here for so long now. Denchi's been here pretty much the whole game and has just now gone down. We haven't really been watching him too much. So really props to Denchi for surviving for this long on the node for easily 5+ minutes under constant pressure from these guys. But unfortunately, he is going to go down now, and that will give the Abjured control.
So we have the decap over on the altar side, so it's currently a 1v2 over there with Hellseth currently the ones going to be, I guess, bailing out there. Over on the other side, though, we've got Sizer getting a decap on Temple, so we're only going to have the mid-node capped right now. That's going to be for the Abjured. They're still about 120 points behind, but that's nothing. they can bring it back easily.
With that bottom buff, especially if they get the 6-cap channel from the top buff there too, they'll instantly come back. They'll come back and might even take the lead here too.
Wakey's definitely got the advantage in this 1v1 here. But what's going to happen though is Rom's going to be able to stay in this fight for a pretty good amount of time, and he'll just call for help. Like, he'll definitely call for help before he gets pretty low, before he gets into a dangerous position. He'll just say, hey guys, I need some help at bottom. Someone come in, let's take Wakey out, and that's the point where the bottom fights is really going to start to break out.
The thing you have to remember, though, is the fact that, unfortunately, if Rom does get in trouble, while the Abjured members could probably easily call for help on this sort of situation here, unfortunately for TCG, some of them might not be in a position to really help, as it'll be the wrong person or someone who really can't even do anything for him there. So with that in mind, Rom's really going to have to be careful. It does actually seem like Rom is sort of swinging things back around into his favor here, though, but with both these players playing such defensive and such supportive roles, it's more than likely ending up now to be a stalemate where we're just going to have to wait for someone else to come to assist that.
I mean, you got to play that build on 20-second intervals. You got to watch for those shout cooldowns. I mean, you think you get some so low, he pops those shouts off, and you're like, fight reset.
As we take a look here once again, though, we did just see Abjured take a natural 3-cap on this map. They did have control of the altar node as well as mid and temple temporarily there, which put them ahead, and it's honestly looking like they might get back control of the altar node here too. TCG's been spread thin, and we forgot to mention this before the game started, but to be honest, Abjured has such a huge advantage on this map because it requires you to fight at times at 5 points at once. And when you take a look at the comps, Abjured is built 20 times more for that one, which gives them just such a huge advantage here. If TCG doesn't get these points back quickly enough, then to be honest, it might be Abjured.
This is a rough spot right now for TCG. They need to really focus on how they're going to recover from this. They've got Helseth down. He's going to be on respawn.
Oh, with the 4-cap
buff. They got the 4-cap. This is going to propel them even further in the lead here. They need that bottom buff. TCG needs that bottom buff to get themselves back in this game. They need to nullify that cap.
Trying to see what these guys are doing here at the moment. Moving over to Sizer's point of view. Sizer, what are you doing, man? You're just hanging out here. He's got nowhere to go. 4-cap for the Abjured. This could be it. They're making their comeback. They're approaching that 400-point mark. This is a 2-1 set. If we see them take this, if TCG cannot come back soon, this is over. And the Abjured North America will win its first major Guild Wars 2 LAN, and they will take home $25,000.
Oshag's getting taken down on altar side, though, so he's going to be getting taken down here. You see the stomp coming out. They're going to be bailing off the point here. There's one point they got to worry about now. It's got to be that midpoint. There's an Ellie sitting on it right now. It's not going to really matter as much.
TCG just gave up another free cap over on the middle point there. We now are going to see that. Not only that, but you got a re-rotation from 5 gauge. He's going to fall back over here. Sizer might be able to stop it, but that's a disadvantage
Sizer's
fight.
leaving.
He's going to leave it. They're going to go all in on mid. They're going to try to take this. Can they even come back with a 2-cap at this point, though? Their opponents are going to tie the 2-cap. That's not going to be enough. They need to push for all 3 nodes.
Bottom buff is still going strong. We got Rom versus Wakey. Like, there's no one's budging. No one's budging there, and they're just going to leave it. They're going to leave it be. They're playing the map 4v4.
Why is Tage going down there?
I guess they want to rotate Rom into those team fights. Tage probably being on that node.
Yeah, that's got to be it. 30 points, Grouch. They're going to do it. I think this is it. There's nothing left for TCG on this map. They've got nothing going on here.
No, Fenrir's down at mid. I believe he's down at mid. Yeah, Fenrir's been down for a long time. They did not get enough cleave on that body.
This is it, Grouch.
This is it.
North America has done it, guys. Congratulations to the Abjured. They are the WTS Season 1 Grand Champions, and they'll be taking home $25,000 and be the first North American team to win a major Guild Wars 2 LAN.